Hi students, today we are going to learn about Ohm's law. In previous class we discussed about microscopic form of Ohm's law. Today we are going to learn about macroscopic form of Ohm's law. The macroscopic form of Ohm's law is known as Ohm's law, simply called as Ohm's law. In 10th standard also you studied that Ohm's law. That macroscopic Ohm's law or Ohm's law is derived from the microscopic form. The microscopic form of Ohm's law is J is equal to sigma E, isn't it? That is current density. Current density is directly proportional to electric field. That is the microscopic form of Ohm's law. From that one, we are going to derive the Ohm's law. Okay, J is equal to sigma E. Let us consider that one conductor. So it has L length and cross section area is A, and I apply the battery, that is voltage, V voltage. I apply the voltage, that is applied voltage. Due to this voltage, the electric field is created in that conductor. So the electric field direction and the current density direction is both are same direction, isn't it? The length of the conductor is L, cross section area is A. So in that voltage, we have studied in first lesson, that is electrostatics, dV is equal to minus E dx, isn't it? So that term, it is a infinitesimal term, that is a very small term. So we take that macroscopic form, that is dV is converted into V, then dx, that is the length, small length, we are taken as L. The negative symbol is denote that distance increases, the potential difference is decreases. Therefore here we mention that negative symbol. The potential difference is directly proportional to electric field, and the potential difference is inversely proportional to length. V is equal to, that is voltage, K Q by R. So in distance increases, potential difference is decreases. So he mentioned that minus symbol here, because here potential difference is directly proportional to length. That is not correct. So we put that negative symbol. Now we are going to eliminate that negative symbol. So therefore V is equal to E L. So potential difference is equal to field into length. That is simple form. From that one, E is equal to V by L. So electric field is equal to potential difference by length. You take that equation number 2, this one. Then J is equal to sigma. We put that value, E is equal to V by L. Therefore we substitute that electric field value V by L. Therefore J is equal to sigma V by L. That is the one form of current density. Already we know that one. We know that J is equal to current per area. Current density is known as current per area. That is the definition form. Okay. So from the definition, we take that J is equal to I by A. The both equations are current density. So now we are going to equate that current density. Sigma V by L is equal to I by A. Now we rearrange that equation in terms of voltage and current. So V is equal to, put that one, V only one side, that is left side. V is equal to I into that L is going to numerator, then J is going to denominator. So L by sigma is going to denominator. So L by sigma A. So that term is known as resistance. So R, resistance. So R, this is current, this is voltage. So only we studied in 10th standard, potential difference is directly proportional to current, isn't it? V is directly proportional to I. But in correct definition of Ohm's law, at constant temperature, that is the Ohm's law. State to Ohm's law means, in our book we don't have that definition or law. Ohm's law states that at constant temperature, that word is very very important. At constant temperature, a steady current, that is steady current, not variable current, that is steady current. At a constant temperature, a steady current flowing through a conductor is directly proportional to potential difference between the two ends of the conductor. So that is known as Ohm's law. Okay, but voltage is directly proportional to I. We simply remember that equation. vegetarian is equal to IR. So IR. Okay, V is equal to IR. That is Ohm's law. From that equation, here L by sigma A, that is resistance. So R is equal to L by sigma A. Sigma, that is in a denominator. So we consider it as a reciprocal of sigma. That is, sigma is conductivity. The reciprocal of conductivity is known as resistivity. So rho is equal to 1 by sigma, that is resistivity. So R is equal to, here that is 1 by sigma, therefore that is a rho L by A. So R is directly proportional to, that is resistance is directly proportional to length of the conductor and inversely proportional to area of the cross sectional conductor, area of the conductor. So resistance is directly proportional to length and inversely proportional to area. So R is equal to rho L by A. Here conductivity and resistivity are independent of the dimensions of the conductor. A particular conductor or material has constant value of sigma and rho. The conductivity value is that is independent value of dimensions. It depends the type of material. Okay. Then rho also, it depends only the type of the material. It is independent of dimensions of the material. The rho and sigma is doesn't depend the length and the area. Resistance only depend the length and the area. So sigma and rho is a constant for a particular material. Okay. Yes. If length 1 meter, length is equal to 1 meter, then area is equal to 1 meter square. So that like the way we consider means R is equal to rho. Therefore resistivity is equal to resistance. Now we are going to give the definition for resistivity. That is electrical resistivity. So electrical resistivity is defined as, that is equal to resistance, isn't it? The resistance offered by a conductor to the current flow. The resistance offered to current flow by the conductor of length 1 meter, that is unit length, having unit area of cross section or cross section area. So a material or a conductor has 1 meter length and 1 meter square cross section area, means its resistance is equal to resistivity. That is constant for particular material. Its unit is ohm meter. So here rho is equal to, from that equation, rho is equal to RA by L. So its unit is meter, its unit is meter square. So this is ohm. So meter cancel, therefore its unit is ohm meter. Like this we can derive that unit. Okay. For conductivity, its unit is reciprocal of resistivity. Therefore it is ohm meter, isn't it? So its unit is per ohm per meter. So yes, last class we discussed that one. So per ohm meter is the unit of resistivity. Then conductivity unit is per ohm per meter. Yes. Okay. Then V is equal to IR. So from V is equal to IR, we rearrange that equation for resistance. Now we are going to do the definition for resistance, electrical resistance. Here we discussed about resistivity. Now resistance. Resistance R is equal to V by I. That is, V is potential difference, I is current flowing through the conductor. So resistance is defined as the ratio of potential difference between the end of the conductor or across the conductor to current flow through the passing through the conductor or current flow through the conductor. Therefore resistance is defined as ratio of potential difference across the conductor and potential difference across the conductor to current flow through the conductor. Okay. Then its unit is ohm, that is OHM. Okay. Yes. If we take the one device, that is electrical device, means we can divide that electrical device into ohmic and non-ohmic. Which are the material or conductor obey the Ohm's law, that device is known as ohmic. Or that is, it obey, if we obey the Ohm's law means how it obey? For zero voltage, the current also zero. So voltage increases means current also increases. So the graph between current and voltage for a device if it is the graph is linear or straight line passing through the origin means that device is known as ohmic device. For example, resistor obey the Ohm's law, but some of the material doesn't obey the Ohm's law. In ninth unit, that is second volume, ninth unit, we will discuss about non-ohmic devices, that is electronic devices. So here we are discuss about that is electrical devices. The electronic devices are non-ohmic devices like diode, then transistor, then amplifier, like that way, that is non-ohmic devices. Okay, here non-ohmic devices means it doesn't obey the Ohm's law. Therefore, its graph between current and voltage is non-linear. The graph between current and voltage is non-linear means the material or that devices are non-ohmic devices. Okay, the ohmic devices graph. From that graph, if we take the slope between that is current and voltage graph. That is current and voltage graph means in y-axis current and x-axis. In x-axis we take the potential difference, that is voltage. So if take the slope means that is 1 by r, that is conductance. The reciprocal of resistance is equal to conductance. Here reciprocal of conductivity is known as resistivity, or like that way we will oppositely we can see that we can say that one. Here sigma is equal to 1 by rho. So reciprocal of resistivity is equal to conductivity. Like that way we will see, that is we can write that equation. Okay. Here resistance. So reciprocal of resistance is conductance. That is resistivity. Reciprocal of resistivity is known as that is conductivity. Okay. So that is ohmic device. The graph is for ohmic device. That graph is for non-ohmic device. So it is very important 3 mark. And in that topic we discussed about Ohm's law. One is that is a very important law, Ohm's law. Then what is resistance or defined resistance, defined resistivity, then conductivity and its units. Then for ohmic and non-ohmic graph, these are 1 marks, and a lot of 2 marks also we discussed. Okay, so thoroughly study that one. Thank you.